Alrighty, let's rub our hands together, creating heat. And then we're gonna interlace our fingertips and make a figure eight. I'm thinking about leading the figure eight with my thumbs. And then I'm gonna lead the figure eight with my pinkies. Brain and body. There it is. Nice. And then take a look at your hands. Notice which thumb is on top. You're going to switch all of your fingers to put the other hand on top, which might feel really weird. And lead with the thumbs. And lead with the pinkies. And just pull your hands apart, give them a shake down. Awesome. As we start our tactile warm-up, I'm going to start with my non-dominant hand as the doer hand. Usually I start with my dominant hand, and I think there's we have more cortisol, we have more frontal lobe action affiliated with the dominant side, the side that does, manipulates, thinks. So I encourage you, maybe start with your non-dominant hand. We're just going to do some pats down. And then back up. Down the side body. And then across the chest, switching hands. All of us have gotten our second vaccine doses. That's very exciting. Let's take that pathway again, so patting down and up the arm, but as we do it, invite the arm to be reaching or stretching so that the body is active as it gets its pat down. Yeah, great. And when you're ready, second side. And moving on to the torso. Front, side, and back. And to the lower body. Again, I'm going to start with patting down my dominant leg. Giving this side of the body the opportunity to receive as opposed to do. Transitioning when you're ready. Second side. We'll bring the tapping energy up to the head when we finished out the lower body. Gentle face taps. neck, jaw, temples, forehead, eyebrows. And start to just gently smooth out the skin on your face, transitioning this tactile experience to having bigger, smoothing motions. And we'll take this touch along the whole body, longer, smoother sweeps, settling down the feathers that we ruffled. Choosing your own adventure, making contact with all parts of the body that want it. Noticing how your breath responds to this kind of touch. Let's cross our arms over so we're reaching around toward the shoulder blades. Take a deep breath into the space between your shoulder blades. Filling the upper back with air. Take 2 more deep breaths here on your own time, fully exhaling. And when you're ready, just let that melt away. All right, let's do a little check-in. I'll pause the recording. All right. So this morning for class, I pulled the Exemplar of the Pipes, which is a pretty awesome card, and I've pulled it before when thinking about movement. I actually included this card in the workbook that I'm creating for Responsive Body. So I'll read it to you and take what you want from the reading that applies to you and disregard the rest. Exemplar of the Pipes. The sage is a self well expressed. So there's a prayer and a lesson. Here's the prayer. Actually, why don't I read this as you are in your bodies a little bit more? Okay, so let's like maybe move away from the screen a little bit. And as I read it, feel free to move around and notice like where in your body, what parts move, where you feel it, where you don't feel it. Just have a movement exploration as I read this. Okay. Prayer. The time ends for my active work in this specific area. Yet I shall live a long time to tell of all I know. Those who come to me for advice, I will inspire with my vision's fulfillment. I have lived a brave life and passed the tests of time. I have brought forth all of the beauty within me on my path of my purpose. My art now guides the world toward a right relationship to all that is. I am free now to take up a new path. But while I am here, I will lead with love and kindness. I will pass on what I know. Ancient ancestors, guide me on to the golden road so that I do not get lost in past glory. Keep me aware of new days to come. Make me a child again. Lesson. You have earned the title of sage or creative genius. You are a visionary who has lived life fully and well, the artist at life itself. Your works will last long beyond your own physical life, and thus are immortal. You are passing on the pipe now, handing down the wand. This may be in only one area of your life, or all of them. You will know. It is an end time, but it is also a time when you reign supreme. Be wise. You will be asked to pass it on. It is a good time to reflect, to be thankful, to make completions. Do not get caught up in the feeling of dying. There is no death that lasts. Your life conditions in the context in which you find yourself simply change. Let go of your identification with the earlier parts of your journey. You are not the journey. You are not the past. You are not a has-been or a once was. You are vital in the here and now. You are an exemplar of the pipes. You are a living example of that which you spent your life energy on. You will be given a new life where the long-term benefits of your work support you. Future generations will live through creations developed through your energy. You will be a child among them. The fulfillment of self well expressed becomes the art that inspires and guides the world. You will be born again in the future of your own creation. Let's just keep moving from here on. I'm going to start some music. Yeah, just let that continue to resonate, however. Begin to notice your breath. Invite the breath to move you. Feel the three-dimensionality of the lungs. Inviting the breath to move the lower body as well, feeling all the diaphragms of the body. Begin to notice spine. Through this movement, go back to the reading I just did. Feel what parts resonated with you and find a movement exploration that brings forth those ideas. Keep moving with what you're interested and curious about. Maybe there was a line or a concept, an idea about end or beginning, completion. Leadership. Exploring what textures come to mind. Is it thick? Is it slippery? Is it dense? Is it airy, porous? Finding new or familiar textures. Sandpaper, Velcro, raw chicken. We'll take 2 more minutes to process the textures that we're moving through. Beginning to move toward resolution, beginning to journey toward completion. Letting it take as long as it needs. Nice. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Excellent. We're going to move into fold and unfold as our next exploration. I invite you to bring as much of what you're already working on or through to that, or you can wipe clean slate. We're going to take fold and unfold. Don't forget that the spine can also fold and unfold. When you're ready. Nice. Expanding, contracting, using gravity, using furniture. Feeling the fingers and toes fold and unfold. Inviting the sensations, memories, emotions that are associated with your folding and unfolding. Giving them honor, giving them time. Begin to invite more reach in your unfolding. Feeling more expansion and more contraction. When does it feel good to reach further than you were planning to? When does it feel satisfying to contract or fold in more than you were planning to? Evening exhales on the folds and contractions, and inhales on the reach and expansions. Begin to play with the movement quality. Maybe the unfold and reach becomes a push, or a toss, or a release. Maybe the contraction is a gather, a homecoming. Gather, release. Maybe your gather is a harvest, your release is seeds planting. Getting as specific and detailed as is in service to you. You could be harvesting, gathering something specific, or you could just think fold in. What are you sending outward? What are your hips sending outward? What are your knees sending outward? What are your feet sending outward? Invite more gravity and momentum. Inviting the center of the body to move, the torso, the head, the spine, the guts, the back, the bowl of the pelvis. central nervous system moving. We'll take this score for 2 more minutes. Feeling the center column of the body as you open and close, extend, contract. Inhale, exhale. Beginning your journey of winding down, staying in the body, mind is soft. Breath is full, gravity is a partner. And concluding. Excellent. Nice moving. Everybody go ahead and grab a sip of water. We'll move into some structure. I have this body-brain teaser that has to do with folding and unfolding that I want to teach you. I feel like we've been in a brain-heavy space so far, so I just want to give you something that's going to like break your brain so it'll turn off for a little bit. And this is something that I learned maybe from my first ever dance teacher, Jody Schreiber. Shout out to my girl. And it's an arm pattern. So let me actually raise this up for this. We're gonna I'll mirror you. So your right arm, my left arm, is gonna go up, down, up, down. Yep. So I'm unfolding and folding. That's the pathway. High diagonal, low diagonal. Pretty simple. Got it? Opposite arm, your left arm, is going to go up, middle, down, middle, up, middle, down, middle. Got it? Get that one really patterned in there. You can feel the tempo in your body. Ba, 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 ba. great. Now we're gonna do them at the same time. So we can start slow. Both are gonna start up, and then the second position, so one is in the middle and one is in the bottom. Then we have one on the bottom, one on the top. Back to one in the middle, one on the bottom. And then they meet back up at the top. Yeah. So I can do it probably better if I'm not talking. So we'll just do a few rounds and just follow along or do it on your own timing. 5, 6, 7, 8. If you get comfortable, feel free to play with speed. If your brain is hurting, good. We're going to exhaust it. We're going to turn it off. We're going to get back in the body. Oh, I might have messed that one up. Take one more round, wherever you're at. And shake the arms out. Great. Just a little palate cleanser. We'll get into a little bit more stretching now. All right. Good. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, bend the knees down, curve the spine inward. Again, inhale, reach up. Contract. Expand. Contract. 2 more. We'll end with our arms at our sides, reaching side to side. Side stretch. Different options. Coming up, other side. Slight bend of the knees. Roll down. Good, stay there. I'm going to turn down the music a little bit. Fold it over. Relax the head, relax the neck. Shake your head, no. Nod your head, yes. Wiggle your head, I don't know. Walk your hands over to one leg. Other side. Back to center. Bend your knees, slowly roll up. Good. We'll take our calf stretch. Option to tuck your pelvis to get more of a stretch on the front of the hip. Or staying in your calf stretch. Arms reaching up at a diagonal, long line from the heel to the fingertips. Shifting our weight 4 times forward on the front leg. 6, 7, 8, front and back. Front and back. Front and back. Last time, hold it front. Option to reach the foot back for a quad stretch. With control, releasing that leg back. And second side. Option to tuck the pelvis for a stretch across the front of the hip. Finding that calf stretch, arms reach up at a diagonal. Shifting the weight forward 4 times. Here we go. Front and back. Front and back. Front and back. Last one. Hold it front. Pulling the knee in. Back is extended. Circle the ankle. Option for a quad stretch. Foot comes behind you. And with control, sending the leg back. Finding your legs wide toward me. We're going to take some figure eights of the hips. Circling, making a figure eight. And reverse the direction. Continue and let your eyes scan your space. Staying attuned to the internal experience while tracking your surroundings. Two more. Excellent. And just give it a little wiggle, little shake. Awesome. Good. Okay, what I'm feeling drawn to do now is to just take us to the ground to do some guided stretching and release and stuff. But I also want to hold space if there was an improv score that either of you were looking forward to offering, because usually we do that. So if there is an improv score that you want to do, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. And if you're interested in just heading down to the floor, you can give me a thumbs up. All right, we'll go down. Awesome. We're gonna start with laying on our backs with our knees up. I'll do some of it with you, but I'll also talk you through stuff because if I do some of it, I'll be facing away from the camera. Dad, are you able to see your screen from down there? You can just give me a thumbs up over your head if you are. I can't see you, but if you can see me, then that's okay. Okay. Awesome. All right, so go ahead and lay on your back and have your feet, up. Could be on furniture, could be on the ground. So there should be a crease at the front of your hips, kind of like you were gonna do crunches, but we're not gonna do crunches. LOL. All right, we're gonna move our arms in a pathway that's gonna start out to our sides. Both of our hands are gonna go down toward our hips, and we're gonna make a motion like if we were taking off a big sweatshirt over our head, up and over our head. And then the arms are gonna circle wide back down to the hips, and we're gonna repeat. So our arms are like taking off a big hoodie over our heads and sweeping down along the floor toward the hips. Go ahead and take that pathway. Let the back of your body soften into the ground. Feel the ground supporting you. Coordinate your breathing. For me, that looks like inhaling when I'm pulling the hoodie up over my head, and exhaling as my arms sweep down by my sides toward my hips. Take 4 more. Just using the muscles needed for this movement, not holding any extra tension away from the ground. And on your final one, just let the arms rest out at your sides. Good. Pushing into our feet, we're just going to lift our hips up just a little bit and give them a shake. Shake the hips. Shake your booty. And release back down. We'll do one more. Pressing into the feet to free up the pelvis just a little bit off the ground. Shaking the hips. Releasing in the pelvis. And gently set it back down. We're going to take the opposite pathway with our arms. So our arms are out to our sides. We're going to drag them along the ground, up overhead on the ground, and then we're going to pull the hoodie back down onto our torso. The arms will go back out open to the sides. Releasing any unnecessary muscular tension. Letting the arms be heavy as they slide over top the body. Coordinating the breath with your movement. Four more. When you've completed your fourth one, let your arms rest wherever feels good. It could be on your body, out to the sides, down toward your hips. Gently rock the head side to side. Feel the back of your head supported by the earth. Let your head be heavy. Eyes and neck are soft. And returning the head back to center, face toward the sky. We're going to windshield wiper our knees, letting the knees fall to one side, taking a moment, and then sending them toward the other side. Feeling internal and external rotation in the hips. Whatever timing feels good to you is correct. Whether it's a quicker windshield wiper or whether you want to rest with your knees to one side, enjoy the twist. Each time you lift your knees back up through center, think about the back of the pelvis dropping down into the ground as a way to bring the knees back up. Back body sinks down into the ground. The next time your knees are back up facing the ceiling, we'll take another pelvis lift and shake. So I press into the soles of my feet to free up the pelvis just an inch or two, and then I shake. Shaking the muscles off the bones. Let the pelvis return to the ground and take it once more, pushing into the feet to free up the pelvis. Shake. And letting the pelvis drop to the ground. We're going to take a little bit of a foot dance. The feet are going to lift up, and we can bicycle or we can swirl with the feet. We're going to invite the feet to lead movement of the lower body here. Go ahead and take a little 1-minute exploration. You could find a stretch, you could find a kick, you could find a wiggle, scoop, swish, flick. Feeling how your abdominal muscles are supporting this to protect the back. Following pleasure, following curiosity, following challenge. Good. Smack the feet together a little bit, bringing some impact. And then we're going to curl our knees in toward our chest, hugging the knees inward. Head is heavy on the ground. Spine is long and soft. Front of the hips are folding. Take a little rock side to side, just slight massaging the head of the femur into the pelvis, bringing some mobilization and compression, release of the hips. Keep holding one knee in, let the other leg lengthen long on the ground or wherever, on the bed, anything. Reach out of that heel on the lengthened leg, igniting the back body, and hug the knee in just a little more, feeling reach in 2 directions. Carry that knee side, so I'm going to cross it over the front of my body for a twist. Head can turn and look away from the knee that is crossed over. Spiraling the spine, spiraling the guts. On your next exhale, return the back of the body to the ground, bringing your knee back up toward the belly. And then we'll switch legs, bringing the other knee in and reaching the other leg out and down. Reach out of the bottom of your heel on the extended leg. Squeeze the knee in a little bit more. If this doesn't feel great on your knee, you can also hold the back of your thigh. That will give less pressure to the joint in case you've had knee surgery. And gently carry the knee across the body for a twist. I like to put my opposite arm on the outside of that thigh to kind of anchor it, looking over my opposite shoulder and extending my arm along the ground, the back of my arm in contact with the floor. Noticing differences and similarities from one side to the other. On your next exhale, back of the body presses back into the ground. One more time, we'll bring both knees into the chest, and then we'll return the feet to the floor. We'll take a final hip shake, pressing into the feet, freeing up the pelvis. Shake. Let the guts shake, let the belly shake, let the butt shake, let the thighs shake. Stirring up the air around you. And finally, releasing the pelvis to the ground. We're going to end in constructive rest. So, walk your feet out away from each other, just maybe a few more inches. And let your knees fall toward each other. So my feet are wide and my knees are kind of falling in on each other like a teepee. The arms can stay out to the sides, or they can cross over the front of your body like that hug we did in the beginning of class where we took a big breath into our upper back. So letting everything fold and drop in. Shouldn't take any effort. Constructive rest. I remember first learning about this position in a somatics class in college. And I said to the teacher, how is it constructive if it's ret? And then I said, oh. So we'll just take 2 minutes here all together. If something doesn't feel good about this position, please modify. Find something good for you. Begin to deepen your breath. Letting the belly, the chest, the torso expand and contract with your breathing. We'll begin to work our way to laying on one side, like in a fetal position. Taking the next few moments to work your way there. Still finding moments of peace and rest, even in this transition moment. When you're ready, on an exhale, use your hands and arms to push you up to a seated position. Awesome. We'll just close out with a little rub of the hands together. And just bring your hands to any part of the body that is asking for touch right now. Maybe your eyes close Tuning into your internal space, appreciating and honoring your body. A moment of gratitude. On your next exhale, the eyes can soften and open if they're closed, and the arms can return to a rested position. Thank you for being here. I'm going to stop our recording.